find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So you're off in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
Say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike could have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
On to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching. And the Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's Monday night. I'm Mr. Radical SR8 Championship from Oulton Park. circuit there. You got no chicanes this evening. Track layout 4.26 kilometers, around about 2.5 miles, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. We have brought them back. We have brought the SR8s back to JBB. They have come along, and they're going to be on track for you this season. The track itself, well, their Oulton Park circuit here this evening. They're heading to Road Atlanta next week, then off to Road America for round 3, Monza for round 4, Spa-Francorchamps for round 5, Bathurst in round 6, Brands Hatch GP for 7, then off to Imola for round 8, Knockhill for round 9, and then we'll finish on the round 10 will be at the Nordschleife. Now, the format itself, well, race 1 will be a 10-minute race set from qualifying that will set the grid for the feature. Race 2 for 45 minutes will be a 10-place reverse grid, and they will need to do a pit stop. There is one fast repair. Hopefully they won't need that. Incident warning at 17 and 5 after that. The setups itself are fixed. The final race at the Nords will be not with the sprint race beforehand. It will be a straight 60-minute race at the Nordschleife. So they will be needing pit stops here tonight, and they should be needing more pit stops at the Nordschleife as well. Good evening, Mr. Paul May. Thank you so much for joining me. My name's James Parfitt. I'm in the booth by Tom Cairns here as well. We are into the 15-minute qualifying. We are 8 minutes in at the moment. John McCutcheon topping the timing towers on a 1:19.079. But let's bring Tom Cairns into the booth. Tom, welcome in. How are you?
Hello, James. Hello to everyone. Yes, the Radical SR8 Championship is back with JPB. We are at the Oulton Park circuit in Cheshire in the United Kingdom, and we are into the middle part of qualifying, as we said, and John McCutcheon, as we've seen time and time again in these Radicals, showing why he is absolutely, well, I wouldn't say he's absolutely wonderful when it comes to racing these cars. He knows his way around this track as well does the Scotsman. But of course, it's early days. There's still some time for drivers to better their lap times. James Barry up there as well. Luke Maxwell is also in there. Jorge Gonzaga up there in 5th place. I think we are going to be in for a stellar of a season, James, don't you think?
I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. There's some big hitters of the SR8 world in this championship. We've got John McCutcheon, James Barry, Luke Maxwell here as well. Eric Harmon's here. George Gonzaga's here. So there is some big hitters in the world of the SR8s and SR10s within iRacing. And I've seen these guys race the SR8s. I've seen them race the SR10s as well. And these are absolutely stellar individuals. It's just as I say, that Julian Reese goes off the side of the circuit there as well. And I think there's going to be a different kind of attitude when you go into that 10-minute sprint race. You know, they know they've got to get inside the top 10 to make it for the reverse grid pole for race 2, which will be 45 minutes. And they should, unless anybody is very, very clever and very, very smart, they should need to make a pit stop in that 45-minute race. Otherwise, they're going to have to really pull some amazing fuel saving out of the bag. But we will find out and see who can do what in that 45-minute race, because that's going to be the question on who's going to be able to, if they're going to be able to get it to the end. They're going to be really close, and I can tell you now it is close whether or not they can make it on one or make it on none, but it's going to be very, very tough to them to do so. Point scoring system here, well, it's 35 points, or 30 points, sorry, I should say, for a win in the sprint race, which is the first race, then 25, 24, 23, 22 down the order. In the feature is 40 for the win, then it's 35, 34, 33, 32, 31. So there's a big old gap between first and second as well. They get up taking a point for qualifying, will score 1 point, as will the fastest lap in each race. So we're going to keep an eye out for that one as well here. But there's going to be a lot of action here. We've got 16 cars on the race circuit at the moment. I know a couple of drivers couldn't make it this week, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see when we get the full grid. We could end up with 18, I think it's 22 that are signed up for the championship. We could end up with that many SR8s revving around next week at Road America. So I think this championship Championship itself is going to really come out, and a lot of these guys wanted the SR8s back. And, well, so we've decided to do that as well, Tom. So, yeah, look out for this one. This one's going to be very, very interesting.
Well, I have to say, the speed to these cars around Oulton Park are amazing. And with the pit stops as well around this circuit, it's a shorter circuit compared to most tracks, actually, is Oulton Park. So they're going to see a lot of laps and a lot of opportunities for drivers to try and make an undercut or an overcut, however they feel is best. And yes, you are right. It's going to be very interesting around every circuit we go to in regards to the main race, 45 minutes long with a pit stop. Did you say it was mandatory or is it optional for these drivers?
We've set the fuel we've used the fixed setups. Now, the fixed setups usually run for about half an hour for each track, for each specific circuit. So we've run it for the fixed setup is half an hour. That's why we set it to 45 minutes, because 40 minutes was going to be really, really close. So 45 minutes should force them into a fuel stop, unless they are very, very, very clever, and then they may be able to do some major fuel saving, but they should need a pit stop round about 30 to possibly 35 minutes of the feature. It depends on how smart they've been.
We'll wait and see them. We can just see a few drivers improving their lap times. Julian Rees, I think it's just, well, I think someone else has gone up the order, actually. It might have been the number 55 moving up the order there. That will be Mellis going up. But it looks like a lot of drivers have signed up to this championship, and I think we're going to be in for a lot of wheel-to-wheel action throughout. We've just seen John Hudson going over the line. I don't think that was an improvement from before, but you can just see how much he is trying to improve. We've got Eric Harmon, who has improved his lap time from before, but it doesn't improve in position. And just seeing Ethan Bremer going up the order as well. We've got Man de Graaf going over the line. No improvement from him. James Barry, who we know from another Radical Championship he's been involved in, just missed out on the title, but he's rapidly quick in these particular machines. And yeah, they're just pushing ever so hard now in the remaining minutes of this qualifying session for the first round of the season.
Yeah, they are. They're going to try and now improve on their times already. So keep an eye out for some of the improvements. John McHutchison still out on the race circuit. Then you've got Luke Maxwell still there. He's in that blue and white livery. I'm sure that might change before next week. Eric Harmon's in there. George Gonzaga was in there, just got off the side of the circuit. Paolo Tempera, Ivan Bremer. Menno de Graaf is also out on the circuit as well. They're coming into the last 15 seconds here as well. Good luck tonight to Iwan Bremer, says John Sylvester. How do you join the league quiz? Well, you can drop me a DM in the Discord. There is a Discord link down below. We do it all through Grid Finder. I can send you all the information if you join the JPB Discord, which is down below in the description. You can come along and have some fun. Let's bring you up the grid for race number 1. John McHutchison was your pole man. He will score the extra point here for pole. James Barry alongside him with Luke Maxwell in 3rd, Eric Harmon in 4th. Then you got Carl Jacklett 5th, George Gonzaga in 6th, Paolo Tempera in 7th, David Rolleston 8th, Mike Busson in 9th, Ewan Bremer 10th, Jamie Bird 11th, and Menno de Graaf in 12th place. Then below that, you got Stefan Mellis, Graham Matthews, Julian Rees, and Rob Williams. That's 16 cars taking to the circuit there as well. So thanks so much for joining us. Mr. Jack Ashton, welcome in, buddy. I haven't spoken to you for a long while. Hope you are well, dear sir, and everything is okay for you. It's been a while, sir. Mr. Jack there. I haven't seen Jack for, since... Oh, blimey. A long time, Jack. We haven't seen you along here in the JPB broadcast once more. But thanks so much for joining us, cheering on Graham Matthew, who is sitting down in 14th place at the moment, just waiting for John McHutchison and Mike Busson. Why they are traditionally late. They are traditionally late in every single series that I cover. these two, for getting onto the grid there. Jamie Bird in his traditional black and livery with JPB, which actually stands for his son's initials, not just because he's cheering us on. Mike Buson there as well, but the lights are going to be coming on very, very shortly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Ladies and gentlemen, round 1, heat 1 is green, green, green. John McHutchison did not get that car off the line. James Barry took the whole shot. Going into turn 1, Eric Harmon then grabs second place. McHutchison in third. Buson's gone and spun it on the entrance, out in the exit of turn 1, and has got down to fourth. Now we're coming down into Cascades. The left-hander running down into Island, but it was James Barry taking the whole shot. John McHutchison grabbing that second place back from Eric Harmon. But I can tell you one thing, Tom, John did not get that car off the line at all.
No, and it's very unlike John Hudson because we've seen better drives from him off the line than that. But not as bad as Mike Buson, who spun on the exit of the first turn of this Oulton Park track. It's up himself it all to do to even try and get reverse grid pole for the main race later on. We're having a look on the replay, and yeah, he just lost it all by himself, all on his own on the curb. And thankfully, he rips off the bonnet as well. That's not going to help things, but he's back on his way, and he's got not too long to make up because it is only a 10-minute sprint.
Yeah, it is. It's literally, he might as well just stay around about where he is. Luke Maxwell and Gonzaga look like they've just swapped places. Gonzaga's got the front again. Here you can see now it's Gonzaga in fourth. Barry's out in front. Side-by-side action on the back style there with Jamie Bird and Paolo Tempera. Jamie just claiming that position. You see Iwan Bramer sitting there patiently waiting, not really sure where to go in that red or white and black SR8. Carl Jacklett fighting Jamie Bird, then nose to tail at this moment in time, and having a right little ding-dong further down. Julian Reese is caught off the side of the circuit. Bramer's going to try and go around the outside of Cascades. That's not going to work with Carl Jacklett. And now John McHutchison up behind James Barry. Luke Maxwell also in there, and it's getting very, very feisty here from Mr. McHutchison, who is sitting in second place.
Well, it's coming out of Shell Oils on the exit, and Hodgson will take advantage of this long so-called straight before the right-hander of Knickerbrook, I think it is. So they are about to enter now, but he's not going to be close enough to have a go, isn't he? He's too fast of a right-hander to pull off overtakes, and it's too narrow as well. So he'll be hoping for an overtake at the right-hander before the pit straight to get the overtake done at Lodge.
Yeah, Iwan Bramer and Carl Jacklett have just swapped places. They've just made the change. There's Iwan Bramer, has got through on Jacklett. Jacklett's now got Tempera and Menno de Graaf right behind them as well. Here, these guys having to continue in this fight. Jacklett's going to look up the inside. He's not going to get it job done this time around. And unfortunately, he's put himself under pressure from Mr. Tempera on that run down through Deer Leap, coming into Old Hall. Turn 1 here. Carl Jacklett out in front in ninth place with Paolo Tempera there chasing down Iwan Bramer, and they're continuing to fight as they're on lap 3, and they've only got 7 minutes left. The question will be, can James Barry hold on to the lead over John McHutchison?
Well, that's the £1 million question. And of course, points mean prizes at the end of the campaign. They'll want to get every single point, no matter whether it's the sprint or the main race that happens later on. But we've got Barry and McHutchison toe-to-toe, which is a nice way to kickstart the season. We expect these two to be in the running for the championship, depending on how many races each end up doing.
Yeah, you see these guys fighting out. You cut out on us there, Tom, unfortunately. We didn't catch what you said towards the end of that one. I'm not entirely sure, obviously, if there's an issue your end or whether or not that's just Discord playing funky things there as well. Barry McHutchison going down into the final corner. McHutchison's trying to go up the inside. Not this time. James Barry coming him off. Jamie Bird in there. Bramer, Jacklett, Paolo Tempera. Even Stefan Mellis and Rob Williams having a little bit of a battle towards the back end. This is 12th and 13th. Julian Reese in there in 14th. Graham Matthews and Mike Buson is still running, but he's got no front end on that machine whatsoever. You can see the inner workings of the SR8 there on Mike Buson as he's trying to get over the line in that very beat up car. As you can see, one mistake right at the beginning and it's cost him here, Tom, and now he's just playing catch up.
Well, he set a faster lap time than those ahead of him, so he has got time to make up ground from where he is currently. Going back to what I was saying about Hudson and Barry, I expect this to be a precursor for what's to come in the season, depending on how many races each of them end up doing. But James Barry is very much under attack here from Hudson, coming towards the right-hander of Knickerbrook now, before they head uphill towards the right-hander of Druids. And where will Hudson decide to place the car here?
Yeah, he's going to try. There's not going to be a lot of room. Not going to be a lot of room at all. And he's got to try and have a go. He's not going to make it. He's got to make it down into the final corner if he can, into Lodge. Is he going to send it out the inside? He's looked, he's made his intentions made, not done there from John McHutchinson. And he's still got James Barry in front of him. Eric Harmon just sitting in the background there, enjoying the whole thing. That is Eric in the car in that red and yellow helmet, concentrating hard once more. But there's the action taking place in front of him. There's McHutchinson, there's James Barry, and they're still fighting, and we're into the final 4 minutes here. And let's see what goes on. You are right, Mr. Jack Ashton. There is no real spread gaps at all at the moment. They're all very, very, very close together on the intervals on the left-hand side. And if you go with the gaps from the leader, you can see there's only 19 seconds across the whole of the racetrack. And Carl Jacquelet has had a bit of a moment here. Was this all on his own in the photo media car? Oh, he is. He's got a... Oh, too deep, Carl. Too deep. And unfortunately, that SR8 did not like that slam on the brakes. And now you can see, just in time, Mr. John McHutchinson and James Barry here having a go right down into Lodge. This is going to be McHutchinson's moment. Barry's covered him off. He's going to try around the outside, the Scotsman. Is he going to be opening it up? Now cutting back if he can. He can't do it this time, Tom. There's just no way round on this circuit for these cars. He's going to have to battle and battle and battle, Mr. McHutchinson here.
Well, Eric Harmon will be involved in this in a moment, and Luke Maxwell has posted a new fastest lap of the race, and he could well play a role in how this sprint race is decided. The driver who is on course for a reverse grid pole at the moment is Brath there in the number 59. He's looking good to take pole at this rate, but the battle we are watching is for the lead. James Barry ahead of John McHutchinson, with Eric Harmon and Luke Maxwell not too far behind as they come out of Shell Oil's hairpin.
Yeah, they're going to get on the run now down into Knickerbrook once more. McHutchinson's tucked in right up behind Mr. Barry. Is he going to be able to send it on the inside going into Knickerbrook? He's not. He's got to sit there patiently waiting once more. Now under the Anvan Bridge we go, up through Clay Hill, round the left-hander of the water tower, coming into Druids. He's got to get it stopped, got to get it slowed down here as well. Open it up. Now go for it once more. McHutchinson closing in. He's not close enough again. Going into that final corner, he knows he's just going to have to send it. Barry's covering him off. He's got him covered all day here, Tom. But this circuit, you just put your car in the middle and that's it. It's very, very difficult to pass at Oulton Park.
Yeah, James Barry doing all the right things, just placing his car in the right place. And Luke Maxwell, another new fast lap of the race. He is flying at the moment in that blue and white living machine there. He's in full position, trying to find a different line off James Barry through Cascades, but James Barry is not having any of it at the moment. He's doing all the right things. 2 laps to go here at Oulton Park in the sprint. Yeah,
Luke Maxwell bringing it in now. He's set 2 fastest laps at the moment, so if he carries on as he will, get the extra point faster for the fastest lap in race number 1. David Rolliston and Mr. Gonzaga are having a nice little battle down in 5th and 6th. Both of these men are up positions. There is the gainers and losers on the left-hand side. You can see Carl Jacquelet down 10 places, but he's now down with Mike Bousson. He's trying to get onto the back of Mike Bousson down here with Stefan Mellis, Graham Matthews and Julian Rees. So Bousson there with his nose, but Barry, McHutchinson and Barry are going side by side round Druids. Oh, Barry's gone round. I think Harmon's gone round as well. Oh, we caught that right at the end of that. We'll have a look back and see what went on. But McHutchinson got the job done. How did he do it? That's going to be the question. And he passed James Barry coming through, hit the Druids. He goes around the right-hander here, leans on him a little bit coming into that corner. Around the outside he goes. Oh, Oh, there was a dab of the brakes from Barry in the middle of the corner. Harmon then unfortunately couldn't get close and didn't react early enough. And unfortunately, he's now gone down the order. That's opened it up for McHutchinson. Gonzaga, David Rolliston grabbing an unprecedented third here if he can on this final lap. And but it is going to be the Scotsman, John McHutchinson's going to take the win in race 1. He's just got to keep it on track. Gonzaga and Rolliston now wrapping it up for that second place. But that mightily unlucky there from James Barry.
That was mightily unlucky as well. And going round, but he's down in 5th place is Barry, which will put him 6th on the grid for the feature race in a few moments' time. Luke Maxwell's dropping down the order. It looks like he's had a moment of his own.
Yeah, I think he was caught up in that incident with the others there, was Luke. I don't know how much contact there was with Eric Harmon, but it's going to be John McHutchinson coming over the line here to take this checkered flag. Johnny Hutchinson has taken the win in race number 1. Gonzaga is going to hold on to the second spot with David Rolliston taking a surprise third there as well. Great job from David Rolliston, closed down by Jamie Bird at the line. Mima de Graaf and Paolo Tampero right next to each other. Graham Matthews and Julian Reese as Reese comes over. Matthews there in that 11th spot. Then we've got Kyle Jacklett, Mike Bousson over the line, Rob Williams, Stefan Mellis must have just had a little bit of a drama there. Was that with Mike Bousson here? Oh, it was. Mike had to go off the circuit. Yeah, had to go off the circuit to avoid him in the final corner there as well. But that is race number 1 done. Let's bring you up the result. John McHutchison is your winner with George Gonzaga in 2nd place. David Rolliston takes a 3rd. Amazing job. Jamie Bird in 4th. James Barry in 5th. Then Paolo Tempera in 6th. Menno de Graaf in 7th here. And then you've got Luke Maxwell 8th, Ewan Brayman 9th, for Julian Reese is in 10th. Then Graham Matthews in 11th, Carl Jacklett 12th, Mike Bousson, Rob Williams, Stefan Mellis and Eric Harmon, the last of the finishers there as well. Gripping last lap, and what was there any responsibility? I feel didn't really have any on John McHutchison. He went round the outside, and unfortunately there was just contact with James Barry, who braked mid-corner, and Eric Harmon, who unfortunately went up the back end of him.
Well, it looked a bit like desperation from James Barry because he knew he'd lost the position, and he felt like he had to get it back at the next corner. Otherwise, McHutchison would have been in the box seat to just hold him off until the checkered flag. So I think that was just desperation, really, from James Barry's part, and he's paid the price for it, and instead of just settling for 2nd.
Yeah, I think he tried to defend for his life. I think that was the problem in this circuit. When obviously you get pushed off the line, you're kind of a sitting duck and can't quite get back on the line here. A couple of people have gone out for this brief little warm-up here. Menno de Graaf out on the circuit. I know a lot of these guys are taking these cars out for probably the first time in a long while, so we'll try and get as much practice in the car as possible. Now we're heading into that 45-minute race. We're heading into that pit stop needed cycle, I believe, here from some of these cars to see how they get on. It's going to be very interesting to see how they manage these pit stops.
Well, it's about timing it, really, and not throwing everything at it in the early stages. So I think we're going to see a lot more wheel-to-wheel battling on circuit, and I think the strategy is going to play a role in who comes away with the victory here this evening. Stefan Mellis will be thinking, he'll want to get a good result out of this. I don't expect him to be in the fight for the win, but he could be one of those to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, I think so also, but it is so difficult to overtake. But the only difference is that they've got 45 minutes. That's the thing, right? They've got 45 minutes here to be able to make the moves. They've got the pit stops as well, and they should, you would have thought, hopefully make it up the grid and obviously do it in a sensible manner. But you are asking obviously racing drivers to not go and send it on people here as well. It's it's been a very, very interesting race one. Luke Maxwell did grab the fastest lap for race one, so he will score the point. John McHutchinson did get pole, so he will get the point for race one as well. And of course it was John McHutchinson taking the win in race one, Gonzaga in third, and David Rolliston in fourth. That was absolutely amazing from David, but again, he's got to be on there, and he's got to be on the race circuit and be ready to pick up the pieces.
Yep. Well, the drivers will have learned from that first race, actually, knowing where the overtakes are needing to be done at, where to push hard, when not to. The only difference is they're going to be on heavier fuel tanks to what they did in that first race. And with a lot of time for things to change across the whole race, actually, and bigger points are given out. I don't know what they'll be thinking coming into this one. I think one driver who'll be hoping for a better one, most certainly, is Eric Harmon, who was an innocent bystander in the incident involving Hudson and Barry. So he'll be hoping that he can carve his way through the field, no problem. Where did Harmon finish in the race, by the way? Because I finished at the back,
It was towards the back end, yeah. I think it was literally down the back end of the grid. So got about a minute or so left in this 5-minute warm-up here. And the guys will be back on the race circuit ready for this 45-minute race number 2, which will be very, very interesting for them all to see here. I don't know whether or not any of these guys have actually taken this car 45-minute long in other series. I believe they only do it up to the fixed requirements, which is normally round about 30 minutes. I think Paul LeMay will probably have a better idea than I will on that one. But this is what you're missing out on, Mr. Jones. You should come and do it. It'd be fun to see you try and drive something faster than an MX-5. So that would be good on there. Don't forget, guys, as well, if you are here for the first time, like, subscribe, turn on the bells. Let us know how the volume is of the cars over our voices, guys, as well. The SR8s are incredibly loud. They are very difficult to balance in the form of the sound equation. So let me know on that one if anybody can or cannot hear us on for the race. Now we go into the grid for race number 2. Julian Reis will be on that pole position with Iwan Bramer in second, Luke Maxwell in third, Menno de Graaf in fourth, with Paulo Tempera in fifth, James Barry in sixth, Jamie Bird in seventh, David Rolliston eighth, Mike Bousson, not quite sure where 9th and 10th have gone off that grid, but that's very interesting, isn't it? How they've all of a sudden jumped to 14th. Can we try that one again? There we go. George Gonzaga in 9th, John McHutchinson 10th, Graham Matthews 11th, Carl Jacquelet down in 12th. Then you've got Mike Bousson, Rob Williams, Stefan Mellis and Eric Harmon. So Mr. Harmon did finish at the back there as well. The cars are on the grid. They are ready to go once more. 45-minute feature race is going to be up and running. Now we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Race number 2 is green, green, green. Reese got a whole load of smoke. Ewan Bramer did not. He got the whole shot. They're 3 wide further back in the middle. Barry's trying to make a way through. Paulo Tempera, Menno de Graaf. Barry's already up into third place. Jamie Bird into fourth. Tempera gets it all a little bit wrong. Ewan Bramer out in front. Flying start. Menno de Graaf in second. There's a spinner in Cascades. Unfortunately, look like Paulo Tempera has gone down the order, but they're 3 wide further back. Hutchinson's in there, Rolliston's in there, Carl Jacquelet was in there. Oh, Rolliston and Jacquelet are going to make contact. They have made contact. Rolliston is off the side of the circuit. So is Mike Bousson. But lucky enough, we have got 45 minutes. But it is Ewan Bramer taking the whole shot there, Tom. And literally, that was a little bit manic on lap number 1.
Yeah, all the drivers sort of desperate to make up for lost time so they can catch up to their rivals. But Bramer getting an absolute flyer of a start. Off from second on the grid, I think he was, and straight into the lead and just shooting off into the distance from everyone else. James Berry getting off to a very good start in third place. Mahut making his way through up to 7th position. So it's going to be a matter of time before we see those who are out of position on the grid making their way back to the front. But Hudson!
Julian Reese is off the side of the circuit. Was there contact there, or was that all on his own? He's coming through Druids. I think he lost it all on his own on the curb. Bang!
He did.
into the middle of the track. Everybody's managed to avoid him. You can see him just sat there. No front end, unfortunately, for Julian Rees. That's been left back on the side of the road. There's a lot of carbon at Oulton Park here. You can find them all on eBay next week. They're from SR8parts.com and left at Oulton Park as Menno de Graaf and James Barry fighting out for that second place. Julian Rees is in the pit lane. I'm really not surprised he's in the pit lane there as well. Well, yeah, after that incident, I am really not shocked. But James Barry battling away with Menno de Graaf. Is he going to be able to get through on that run down into Knickerbrook?
Importantly, gets through as soon as he can here. James Barry on the inside of Graaf into Knickerbrook, and he makes his way through to second place. Very brave as well. The ball off the place there, and Graaf had to be very kind there and let him through. And that's allowed Jamie Bird to take advantage of an open door and make his way through into third place. But on a charge, as much as Barry is, he can go off to Bremer for the race lead.
Yeah, Eric Harmon's down here with Graham Matthews. He's just about to try and go up the inside as Eric. He does make it through. There's a very battered machine further back. Is that Mike Bousson again? Who's got no front end on that car. Oh, no, he has. It's just black this time around. Didn't really see for Mike Bousson on that one. But, yeah, Mr. Barry making his way up to second place. He's now got Ewan Bramer, who's not an easy chicken to overtake here. He knows this circuit like the back of his hand and has been here hundreds and hundreds of times before. So I'm sure Ewan Bramer will make this as difficult as possible. But a few mistakes already in this 45-minute feature.
Well, the guys are just beginning to settle down now. And Rees rejoined the race in last position, but hopefully he can make up all the time he can. There is a long way to go, and plenty of mistakes are bound to happen from others, so he may as well just keep going as he is doing. James Berry has got the gap down to under a second between him and Ewan Bramer, and he'll be hoping that he can just get on the tail of the 035 sooner rather than later. Riding ball with Luke Maxwell going through Druids on the tail of Graaf as they come towards Lodge Corner. He's not close enough to have a go yet, but behind Maxwell is Jorge Gonzaga and John McHutchison, who are bound to be fighting for the race win here.
Yeah, McHutchinson's up there as well. Maxwell sitting in fifth place. It's James Barry, fastest lap. John McHutchison now with the fastest lap. Swapping backwards and forwards here for that extra bonus point that they get for the fastest lap. Luke Maxwell, Menno de Graaf, Gonzaga, McHutchison. And Maxwell runs a little bit wide. Is he going to try and look up the inside of Islands? He is over Menno at this moment. Here's Menno going to give him the room. Menno gave him too much room. And off the side of the second, getting stopped. There's a tyre barrier. Oh, I think he might have just missed the tyre barrier. And on the olden days of the iRacing grass, that would have just been straight into the wall. But that added depth there has stopped Menno de Graaf hitting that to McHutchison and Gonzaga side by side going down into Knickerbrook now. McHutchison's going to get this all day. Is he going to be able to get the car stopped? He does before the exit. Nice overtake there from John McHutchison.
Well, Menno de Graaf was not focusing on his own driving through the left-hander before Shell Oil, and he was very lucky to avoid the barrier, but he's down in 13th position. The Hutchison through on Gonzaga before the right-hander of Knickerbrook, and up into fifth place he goes. He's got Luke Maxwell ahead of him, fighting for positions, so it won't be too long before we'll see as they begin lap number 5.
Yeah, not quite sure what's going on. We've got a little technical issues with Tom's mic there. Keeps cutting out on us, unfortunately. So apologies on that one if we are listening to Tom. And unfortunately, it seems like there might be a little bit of a internet problem somewhere as well, because it's quite cut out. But hopefully we will be able to get that all resumed and sorted here now. Barry trying to go through Shell Oils now up the run round the right hander we go onto that back straight before we go into Nickelbrook over Hilltop. And Bramer's just positioning his car. He's saying, well, where are you going to go? You're not going to be silly enough to go round there. I'm going to give you no room. Bramer's now got him on the exit. He's got that run up for the outbound bridge. Ewan Bramer past the water tower. Now the left-hander into the right-hander of Druids. Bramer again just positioning that car where he needs to here, Tom. And it is difficult at this circuit to stop people overtaking when you put the car in the middle of the track.
Well, you can just see that Barry's just waiting for the perfect opportunity here. He may even wait for the pit stops to arrive. But the trouble with that is that his rivals of Hudson, Maxwell, and maybe Eric Harmon later on in the race could be closer to him than he would have liked. So it's important that he can try and get in front of Ivan Bramer as soon as he can. It's just knowing where the best place is to get the overtake done.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the point here. We wonder if tyre degradation will play an issue as well. They are running for 45 minutes. We are 7 minutes in. You know, at the end of the day, there's got to be some form of tyre deg. Barry's going to try up the inside. Bramer's going to use the outside. He's on the grass. James Barry gets the job done. Now for Bird. Is Bird going to get that done over Bramer? He is here. Bird's going to have the inside. Maxwell's crawling all over Bramer now as well. One little mistake and he's going to lose 2 positions. Bird's going to go through. Bramer's going to settle down into third. He's gone from first to third in the space of a corner. And that was all because he made a mistake coming out of Shell Oils.
And he had lost momentum all the way down to Nickelbrook as well. And he had to be kind of... He's lost it through Druids and he's gone wide.
He is back on the circuit, but he has lost that place now. He's down in 4th here for Ewan Bramer. He's got, unfortunately, a little bit, how can I put it? He got a little bit sort of, oh no kind of scenario, a little bit flapped, did Ewan Bramer. And unfortunately for him, he's lost some places. Is he going to lose another one to McHutchinson? He's gone from first. I think this could be 5th place for Ewan Bramer here. And as John McHutchison looking at the inside going into Islands, not going to get the job done currently at the moment, but I don't think it's going to be long before John McHutchison makes his way through.
Well, it depends on how Bramer tackled the remaining cars. It looked like it was almost going to run wide there on that left-hander before Shell Oils. It's the island bend, as well, I was alluding to there. But yeah, he's just trying to get back into a rhythm now because he's run too far out wide. He's made 2 mistakes in the last couple of minutes, and he's just settling back into a rhythm and just stay in touch with the leaders.
Yeah, he's now going to have to just kind of settle back down again. We've got Eric Harmon having a nice little bit of a ding-dong with Carl Jacklett. Jacklett traditionally hard to overtake. It's going to be even more traditionally hard to overtake here on this racetrack. Jacklett will defend hard, but he'll do it fair. But it's now going to be whether or not Eric Harmon can make that move on Carl Jacklett. Round the final corner we go. We've still got, believe it or not, round about 35 minutes left. Harmon takes to the outside now. Jacklett's let him go through. Jacklett now going to come and go at him once more, I hope, here. Mellis and Mike Bousson with Rob Williams. David Rolliston down 4 places after being in 3rd in race number 1. Has dropped, unfortunately, straight down the order into 12th. Then we've got Menno de Graaf, Graham Matthews, Paolo Tempera and Julian Rees, who is still running here, but is unfortunately dropped down the order. Bird and Barry and Maxwell and Ewan Bramer and McHutchinson having a nice little battle for up the front of the field.
Well, Bird is under attack from Maxwell in a moment. Maxwell absolutely flying. We saw the pace from him in the first race, and he's displaying it again in the main one. And he's right on the tail of Jamie Bird as they go through Nickelbrook once more, and underneath the Yokohama Bridge that they're heading towards now of Druids. And one other driver to look out for, James, is Eric Harmon, who's absolutely flying at the moment, and it won't be too long before he gets onto the tail of the Bramer, McHutton and Gonzaga battle.
Yeah, McHutchison's just gone through on Eamon Bramer there, and Bramer is now down in 5th place where we expected him to be, but we have got the pit stops to come 10 minutes in And we'll see how these guys get on once more. McHutchinson there with Maxwell, Bird in first and second. Bird is doing a great job. He is, Paul, but don't say anything, because normally in race number 2, as we know in the SR10, sir, it all generally goes a little bit Pete Tong. So let's hope it doesn't go Pete Tong for Jamie Bird here, Paul. Paul, are you joining? You should come and join the series, sir. Come and have a go. I've got no Sebring on the calendar, Paul, so you'll be all right. Come and join it and have some fun with us.
We'll go back to the battle between Bird and Maxwell once more. Maxwell, does he look into the right-hander here? No, he decides to just settle him. But Druids might be the next best place to do it, although he's got a very poor exit coming out of Knickerbrook. And now he's going to be, well, he's going to have to settle for another corner or so, which is not playing into his hands because Mick Hutchinson is a man on a mission.
Yeah, he definitely is a Scotsman himself, the William Wallace of the SR10, we call him, up here in the JPB booth. He is flying there. He's trying to get on to the back end of the Luke Maxwell, Jamie Bird battle. In the background there is Ewan Bramer. And you can see how he's trying to stay in contact. McHutchinson, fastest lap of the race this time around. Looking forward, there's Maxwell over the back end of Bird. Is he going to be able to get through? He's looking down through Cascades. Nothing to it. Now it's going to be this run. Maxwell's got to have the run on the inside of Islands here. Is he going to be able to make it through, Maxwell? Is he going to be able to make it through? Are they going to make contact? No, it doesn't. Bird keeps his foot in. Incredibly brave driving from Jamie Bird there. Kept his foot in, going around that inside line. And a great job from Jamie Bird to hold on to that second place.
Now Maxwell's going to have to go into defensive mode because Hudson is closer to him than Maxwell is to Bird. But I think Maxwell's going to hold him back for the time being. And so Hudson just allows them to go through the corner. And they're going up the hill once more. And Maxwell is fancying another go on Jamie Bird, although he's just touched the grass before Druids. He just needs to be careful he doesn't run out too far out wide. So we know what that can lead to. Although Bird's run wide on the extra Druids, and that's the invitation that Maxwell needs.
Yeah, he's going to go up the inside now as Luke Maxwell. Is McHutchinson going to follow him through here? There's no team fighting in this one. It is literally all about the individuals. Who's going to be able to do what? McHutchinson and Bird going side by side round turn 1. McHutchinson did get Bird. Jamie Bird was doing a great job. Unfortunately, lost 2 places there. And he's now down again, fighting with Ewan Bramer. Mike Buson closing in on Carl Jacklett. 3rd place in race number 1. Rolliston closing in on Stefan Mellis there. Mr. Rob Williams, it was in the YouTube chat earlier. I hate this car. Now, I remember with Mr. Williams, this was the first car league that he did, because I did the same league before I got into this wonderful world of commentary here. And we drove this league in the FBL at the time. I don't know if anybody remembers the FBL, Formula Baltic League it was. It's now Radical Sim Racing, I believe, yes, under the tutorage there. And this was the first car that I ever drove, was the SR8. So, yeah, Mr. Williams, pull on your big boy pants and get on with it. Don't be moaning about the fact that you can't drive the car. You've driven it for ages. Buson and Stefan Mellis and David Rolliston are fighting it out down in 10th and 11th. Don't forget, 15 minutes in, and we've still got the pit stop cycles to come. Now you can see Rolliston's looking up the inside of Stefan Mellis as well. Is he going to get it done? They're going to be side by side on the exit. Rolliston is going to get the move done over Stefan Mellis. Great job there. Mike Buson onto the back of Carl Jacklett as well here, Tom. Still fights going on throughout the field.
Well, Mike Buson recovering from what he had lost in the first race. And he's all over Jacklett with the 2 no's to tail. Mike Buson want to get a move on here. If he has covered anything strong there. Oh, he very nearly dropped it, but he just gathered it all up on the exit of Cascade.
Mellis is going to look at going up the inside of Rolliston. Not this time, thought better of it. Rolliston holds the car going into Shell Oils and stays in that position. James Barry out in front. Luke Maxwell still in second. McHutchinson, Bird, and then Bramer with Gonzaga there as well. Let's go, Bramer, said Miles Owens in YouTube chat. Welcome in, Miles. Unfortunately, Bramer did make a little bit of a mistake and has gone down the order. So, yeah, but he's down in 5th. And after doing a great job, he was starting in second place. So, and we've still got pit stops, which is going to be the all-important situation here as well. Do they take tyres or do they not? That is the question, Mr. Tom Cairns.
Well, it depends on how long it takes for the tyres to be changed. And, you know, changing tyres could be all the difference here, as we see David Rolliston, who's run into trouble here. I don't know what on earth was happened to him, but it looks like he might have had a clout with the wall.
Oh, he has had a clout with the wall. He has had a big clout with the wall for David Rolliston. This is what it looks like on his onboard. Bang! Crash! And unfortunately for him, it looks like Paolo Tempera has also just had a moment. Not far behind him. Is this going to be exactly the same thing through Druids? Is he going to hit that left-hand curb? Oh, practically. Oh, keeps it in the middle of the track, though, for Paolo Tempera, and doesn't end up going into the barrier. Rolliston will be in, get that fast repaired, and get back out again as well. We might as well take his pit stop while he's there, because he is in that little category, and he might not have to stop again. Oh, Bramer! Oh, snap, snap. And then he just managed to keep it out of the wall. And unfortunately for Ewan Bramer, he's going down now. He's going to lose a couple of positions. Eric Harmon, Gonzaga's gone through. And Ewan Bramer now down into 7th. But to be fair, that could have been a lot worse, Tom.
Yeah, that could have been him throwing it in the barrier there. You just see Mike Bousson almost doing what Rolliston did a moment ago. And that's how hard they are pushing around this quarter. And he's on the inside of Jacqueline. And Bousson is doing to 8th position.
Yeah, Mike Bousson, the man from Froome in Somerset, just up the road from me, bless him. Daytime job, drives a tractor. There's old Mike Bousson out on his tractor for a man. And then we've got Mano de Graaf and Stefan Mellis. And Stefan Mellis is a DJ, I know that. Yay, 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 yay. Whoops. He's got on the front of his car, and it seems perfectly appropriate for that moment, Tom.
Yeah, and Mellis nearly took Graaf with him there. That was really clumsy as well, the way he came across him. I don't know if we can get a replay of Mellis, because he runs so far out wide and just very, very nearly dropped it and took Graaf with him.
Yeah, I don't know if this was intentionally or is he just trying to get this back on. He just tries to get it on, hits the bump, and then gets the car all out of shape on that one. There's no stewarding in this series. It is all about gentleman racing, and these guys have raced together. A lot of these guys have raced together previously, so I don't expect any major dramas from either of them. And hopefully they will be playing Mr. Nice Guys, and Barry, Maxwell and McCutcheon will be fighting it out at the front as we're coming into that final 25 minutes here.
Well, they've got a long way to go still at the moment, and Maxwell all over the back of Barry, as is Mick Hudson. I would probably say it's going to be one of these three taking the victory. We don't know who, and we don't know who's going to have the best strategy. How are we to know who will be on new tyres if they decide to change them?
We're not, but I can tell you now, judging probably from last insights into a 45-minute race, I doubt very much they're going to take tyres. The cool-down period will be why they're in the pit lane. I doubt anybody, maybe some people towards the back end might, but I can guarantee the front three are probably not going to take tyres here. That's just because of I've seen some of these guys. I've seen John McCutcheon do a 60-minute race and not change tyres, so I doubt very much that he's going to change tyres in a 45-minute.
It's probably the right decision to do that anyway. And Maxwell thinking about Barry here, trying to put him off and try and take a different line to what his rival will be doing. They're coming around to the end of lap number 15 here. They're going to be doing a lot of laps around Oulton Park, and I think they'll just be thinking carefully about how they go about doing their pit stops, and will they get out in some clean air? Then that'll be the number one question, as Barry posts not a fast up of the race, but it's his personal best lap, which is interesting. But I think that tells you about the lap times these are doing now.
Yeah, Luke Maxwell still holds the fastest lap of the race at the moment on a 1:19.06. So Maxwell's doing a great job trying to put Barry off. You can see him coming down into Islands, left-hander out. Round Shell Oils they're going to go. Barry still out in front here. Luke Maxwell tucked in right behind them. John McCutcheon right behind that one. And these guys having a nice little battle. Mr. Gonzaga out in a little bit of no man's land. 4.5 seconds in front, 2.5 seconds back to Eric Harmon, who's got Ewan Bramer climbing on or getting closer to him. But you see Maxwell and Barry here. Tyres should be okay, I think. Yeah, I think you're right, Paul, to be honest. As I say, I've seen these guys do 60 minutes on tyres and they've never really had an issue. So I think they might be all right. But don't quote me on that. I'm not in the car. I don't have to see how they get.
We're going to see how Maxwell gets on with Barry here because he's all over the back of him, but it's just, does he decide to go for it? Well, Barry got out of shape there on the XO of Lodge, and Maxwell's going to go through into the lead here, James.
Yeah, but Maxwell took that lead. Barry made a mistake coming out of Shell Oils. He hit the grass on the outside. Now is it going to be for Maxwell to slow him down for Mr. McHutchinson? Both of them part of the team Rad Line set up. And it'll be interesting to see what Luke does now. I know we haven't got a team's championship, I should say, but we'll see if they do kind of have a little bit of it working together. There was a big old puff of smoke in front of us there. I'm wondering where that was from and whether or not it was here at Stefan Mellis. And he gets a big little bit of a moment going into Shell Oils. It was, he did. There's the smoke. Round he goes, spins it up. The DJ by trade. Did he beat you? No, he did manage to get himself up and running, but he should be careful there for Stefan Mellis. He could have ended up beached over them Phillips. Sorry.
Well, Reese has called it a night. First driver out of the race, but it's been an evening to forget for him anyway. Maxwell, half a second clear over Barry. He'll be under attack from John Hudson in a moment.
Maxwell there closing right onto the back of Barry. Williams and Mellis are getting close together. St. Rolliston, even down at the back end, they're getting really close as well. Kramer and Harmon still in the middle of the field, having a nice little bit of a ding-dong. So we'll keep an eye and see how all of these battles materialise here. Kramer, who was at the front, of course, made a couple of mistakes. Probably silly mistakes by his standard. And he's now going to have to try and fight his way through. He's dropped back just a little bit. What about Mellis and Williams? Phil, evening, James and Tom. Nice to see the SR8 skin. Yeah, falling back for this turnaround calendar here with the help of Mr. McHutchinson, who sort of precedent in sticking the calendar together. Generally, he asked me about an SR8 league. I asked him where would I put him, and he went and did a calendar. So that's a great job from him. Unfortunately, Jack, your boy, Mr. Graham Matthews, has gone off the side of the circuit into turn one. He's going to hit that curve. The back end's going round the wall. Ouch! Oh my God! That was a massive impact from Graham Matthews there. See what he was facing coming around this corner into turn one. He goes on the outside. Bang! Straight into the wall. Front right is flapping in the wind there, and he's had to jump straight back to the pits for Graham Matthews. That was massive impact there for Tom.
Yeah, it was, and he was already losing it before he even starts the curve there, and the curve was what threw it into the barrier on the right hand side. So that is Matthews out of the race, Johnny Reese on the sidelines. So we've got 14 left in this one. David Rolliston a lap down in 14th position, still going, but he's got a long way to catch up to the leaders who are in a battle of their own. Maxwell doing well to maintain the lead. Jamie Bird is continuing to drop back though from this lot, and yeah, it looks like he's on his own there, but at least he's a good 4 seconds clear over 5th place Hoyt Gonzaga.
Yeah, it's 20 seconds back to 9th place. Wollaston is a lap down after his earlier incident. Julian Reese is in YouTube chat there as well. Great race. I wasn't prepared for the heavier fuel load. Mistakes on me. I didn't want to ruin somebody else's race. So unfortunately, that was coming to have a watch and listen to us out there. Brayman Steele trying to get onto the back of Harmon. Williams and Mellis. It's down here for a little bit of time while the guys up front continue to have a nice little bit of a scrap. That helmet on the right hand side there, associated with Mr. Williams and his purple gloves and his suit, actually part of a Cadbury livery that me and Rob used to race as a team, SR8s, a good few 2020, and that clearly hasn't changed his suit or helmet. That was the suit and helmet we had on the Cadbury's livery jeans we have, with our names down the side on that one. So a little bit there for Mr. Williams' helmet and suit. If he watches it back, which he will do tomorrow, change your suits, man. Update. Get a new. Device for Mr. Williams there. And you guys continue the fight. 26 minutes in, about 19 to go. And you see this battle. You just saw on the left-hand side the Carl Jacklett, Menno de Graaf battle, as they're on their run down hilltop into Knickerbrook. Menno's going to, I thought he was going to go for it there, Tom. Thought he was going to send it on Carl Jacklett.
No, it had been far too risky for him to do it there. He was too far back anyway, so Graaf is going to have to go and try and do it elsewhere. James Berry with a personal best lap of the race, a 1:19.0. Continuing to stay in touch with Luke Maxwell for the lead, as is John Hutchison. And we've just seen Bird, Gonzaga, and Eric Harmon.
Oh, up the inside, he's going to get a run. Sorry for cutting you off. They were side by side. Menno's on the left, Jacklett's on the right. They're coming down into turn number 1. I think it is going to be Menno. Menno's going to go through. Does make it through there for Menno de Graaf. Jacklett's going to look at coming back at him at Cascades. He is going to get. Oh, he got it done there as well. Jacklett comes back over Menno de Graaf after losing that place. Literally a corner earlier. Is Menno now going to come back at him through Islands? He's pulled out with intention. Nothing really there for Menno de Graaf to be able to get through. Through Islands we go and into Shell Oils. Great little battles here from Carl Jacklett and Menno de Graaf.
Yeah, and leaving each other space there. It's a good job that Jacklett was so late on the brakes into Cascades, because I thought that Menno de Graaf was going to run into him into Cascades, and that would have ruined a brilliant battle. But they're still pointing the right way and still backing out. They've got a car there. That's Gareth Matthews, actually, who's already 2 laps down on the leaders. He's got to be wary of their presence. Hopefully he'll stay out of the way of these two. But we'll see if he does so. He's going rather slowly, so he should not be getting in the way of this battle here.
Matthews will move to the right.
Oh, dear me.
There you go. Job done. He had to do it coming out of Druids. There's no way going into it. I can't even fault Graham Matthews there. There's no way he was going to get out the way in Druids. It was always going to be difficult. Jacklett spun the car. Oh, Carl Jacklett, after having a great little battle with Menno de Graaf, over the bump, onto the power, and into the wall. He might as well go straight in for his pit stop now, which is what he does do, get that car repaired. And unfortunately for Carl Jacklett, he's going to drop down the order now. But this is the Luke Maxwell, Barry McHutchinson fight, as they're still going on here as well.
Well, just to correct myself, it's Graham Matthews. I don't know why I had Gareth Matthews in the back of my mind. Graham Matthews is what I was meant to say. But it looks like he almost parked the car on the apex, actually, when I thought he was going to let them by, which was not a good place for him to slow down, because that could have been Jacklett or Graaf running into each other there. So, I know there's no stewards in this one, but I thought Matthews would have done a little bit better in terms of letting them by. But it is what it is, and so they carry on their way. And we've still got the top 3 fighting for the race lead. It looks like they're going into the 1:18s now with the lap times they are doing.
Yeah, 1:18.96, John McHutchinson there with the fastest lap of the race. There you go, 1:18. Well, he's got it as 9:57. Depends on what he... Jacklett trying to move and keep space for...
Oh, dearie me.
He's on the brakes now. He did manage to stay out of the way on lap 23. Very different. The problem is they're being caught in very awkward positions. Graham Matthews up into Druids. Carl Jacklett going through Islands. They're very hard positions. They've got to get them through the corner first. Now, I'm a big advocate of blue flags. If anybody's watched any JPB broadcast, you will know my blue flag rule is the F1 rule. Get your butt out of the way as quickly as you possibly can. And normally, if they're holding them up, I make a point. But I can't really say that with Graham Matthews. He got caught here on the exit of Druids. Jacklett got caught on the entrance going into Ireland. So, you've got to give him a little bit of a leeway there, Tom. You can't just expect them to straight hop out the way when they're caught in difficult positions.
It's just sometimes difficult, because sometimes you can sometimes second guess as to when a driver who's a lap down from you is going to let you by. And I think that's what caught Matt Hudson a little bit off guard. Jamie Bird is in the pits now from 4th position, and he is hoping to make up some ground on the top 3 because he's struggled to keep up with this lot. So I think a pit stop could be what he needs here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the moment now. They're starting coming into that half an hour mark. Unless some miracle goes on and they manage to keep the cars out, I don't think they're going to. I think they are going to have the pits here. So Maxwell, Barry, McHutchison, Gonzaga. As I say, Bird is the first one. A rough idea on pit lane time is still running past the green cone on the 36 seconds, 16.63 pit stop time. And puts Bird all the way down in 9th place. So if he's going to start coming in, I expect the leader coming in very, very shortly here as well. Probably the next.
Well, we'll see. I would imagine at least one of these 3 will be in the pits at the end of that. Probably Matt Hutchison, because he's going to try and complete an undercut on these 3. Although if you are going to be on a heavier fuel load to those who are staying out, is it better to be one of the last ones to pit? We'll wait and see.
Well, that's it. As I say, because we don't get fuel data off the cars, right? We can't get that information. 1:18.9 for John McHutchison there, another fastest lap of the race for John. Because we don't get that information from the cars, we never have done out of iRacing. This broadcaster's got the fuel situation. So we're never going to know. It's just going to be, oh, they're going in now. Because that's about as much warning as we're going to get. I don't think we're going to get anything other than that. So, but if they are going to make it, then maybe we'll look at possibly reducing the fuel load for the next one to make sure they do have to make this pit stop. Menno de Graaf is in the pit lane as well. It's just a Paolo Tempera and the top 7 that have not pitted at this moment in time here.
Well, we'll see when they do decide to pit in here. But Hudson is fancying a go on James Murray. He's been stuck behind it for so long now. It feels like an eternity since we've seen a change of position between these 3 here. Eric Hartman up there in 5th place, although he's yet to stop in this one. The highest driver who has pitted is Jamie Bird, who is in 9th. Tempera is in the pits now for his mandatory stop.
They're in.
But Jamie Bird, yeah, they're all in.
Maxwell,
all
Barry. No, McHutchison's gone round. John's the only one that has gone round. So we're going to try and see how they get on. Barry, Maxwell, all on the stop. Who's going to get the run out? Gonzaga's in, Harmon's in. Bramer's gone round again. Williams is yet to make coming around that corner, so he's not going to be far away. Maxwell does make it out in front. And Barry comes out in 3rd. That's a back marker, I think, in between Luke Maxwell. That's Menno de, no, it's not Menno de Graaf, but there is a back marker there in between.
It's Tempera. I think it's Tempera who is the let down, I think.
Yeah, Paolo Tempera, there he is. So Maxwell did come out in an absolute 4-second pit stop, faster than James Barry. 4 seconds than James Barry here. Barry's all the way back down there. Maxwell's all the way there. Williams is now in the pits as well. So we're going to wait for this pit stop cycle, but it's going to be all when is the Scotsman going to go in to the pits.
Well, it looks like Barry had a slower pit stop than what Maxwell had done, which is not good for his race. And Hudson decides to stay out for another lap.
How much fuel did he save in behind them 2? And could that explain why he was not making that overtake, Tom?
Well, because he was in the slipstream, he wouldn't have had to have gone at full pelt as he would have done if he was in the leader of the pack. So he's clearly saved all that time, some fuel, probably saved about a couple of laps or so from having to do his pit stop at the same time as Maxwell and Barry. But we'll see how Maxwell and Barry get on with their lap times. The lap times that just posted are irrelevant because they are their out laps. Even Bramer is the next ahead for pit road. Don't expect him to be involved in anything to do with the race win here. You could just see Gonzaga going through, but he should get out in front of Eric Harmon, and he does so.
Yeah, he should do that. Gets out on the track. Ewan Bramer puts himself up into 7th. That pit stop has spread out the drivers. McHutchison's got 26 seconds on a 30-second pit stop. We'll have to see if he can actually get this one. He's got 10 minutes left. He should not be able to get to the end. And there you go. He pulls in to the pit lane, gets in as fast as he can through the little left-right. Now it's going to be where and is this man going to be able to catch up with McCutcheon, or is McCutcheon going to hold off on this one? And stopped McCutcheon he is. There is Luke Maxwell coming around the final corner. McCutcheon's not just about moving. This is going to be very, very close here. There is Luke Maxwell. There is John McCutcheon. Maxwell does go through. What about Barry? He does go through as well. McCutcheon comes out exactly the same place he was when he went in, but he's still chasing down James Barry, but he is still in third place.
Yeah, well, the worst case scenario for Matt Hudson, though, was coming out behind Maxwell and Barry anyway. But yeah, he didn't quite make up all the ground as he would have liked to have done that. And we will never know whether taking on new tyres would have helped him in that situation. But I think with the amount of time we've got left, I don't think he would have got enough of the full benefit of those new tyres anyway.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, as I say, tyres was going to be very, very a no-no. I didn't think anybody would have taken tyres, and I would have been very surprised if anybody actually had, and they didn't. So that's good. But now John McCutcheon staying out for them extra laps didn't really benefit him. Would he have gone better off if he'd gone in at the same time they did?
It's difficult to say, but he wants to try something different, and you can't really blame him for that.
I see what you're saying, but I'm just trying to say, would it have been more beneficial to him staying behind the guys going into that pit lane? At least he's in touching distance of the likes of Maxwell, of the likes of Barry. Great try from Luke. Paul, I fully agree with you as well. However, I am surprised he's got his own livery on there. I would have thought he would have given me a bit of a different one. Sure, he'll have a look back and try and change it. But yeah, he's done amazing. But he would have been closer, wouldn't he? That's what I'm trying to say with these guys if they're going out into the field, into the pits together.
Well, he's closer to Barry now. I don't know what the lap times were between these two, but it looks like Matt Hudson is very much getting the hammer down now. I think with the amount of time we've got left in the race, he might as well just go full pelt and not need to go into fuel conservation mode and just literally just go and attack James Barry for second place.
Yeah, I agree. Just go for it. That's the thing. The rest of the field is fairly spread out here. This 45-minute race has caused a lot of dramas. Hutch looking good. Yeah, it's scary how well we can look, Paul, in a different car. Obviously, we're used to him in the SR10s, and he goes and, gets a faster lap on a race in the SR8s. John, steady. And just as we say that, Paul, he starts going off the side of the circuit. I was blaming you on that one.
Well, I'll leave that for you to have a discussion about that afterwards, James. But we saw Matt Hudson nearly dropping it on the exit of turn 1, which is not good for his race, but at least he was able to gather it all up and use all of his experience to collect the car there. He's very much a master of these radicals, John. We've seen it from time and time again. So he's a fairly capable driver in these circumstances, and that could play a role in how his season pans out. We've got a moment here for Paolo Tempera, who had only just been in the pits again. And has he had another spin here at Lodge Corner? Yeah, around he goes, and thankfully does not take anyone else with him.
Yeah, I think David Rolliston, that off on turn 1, it is. Does he? Yeah, he gets it back. Okay, so that wasn't quite as dramatic as I thought it was going to be. However, he will have a nice little slowdown to go with that one. I was blaming you, Paul, if John had gone off just as we started bigging him up. So, that would have been on you. We've got 5 minutes remaining. Maxwell out in front, Barry, then McCutcheon, and Jenny Bird, who's got a great 4th place at this moment in time, as he's just about to lap Mr. Rob Williams. Williams does go a lap down there, sitting in 11th place. Up 3 places but just down a lap. There's a couple of drivers actually. If you look on the left-hand side, you've got Williams, Tempera, Rolliston, Mellis, and Matthew, who's still running 2 laps down, getting more and more experience with every single lap you do in these cars. So a great job from Graham Matthew to keep this car going, as I've seen a lot of people quit when they go down a couple of laps. But the more experience you can get, the more track time you can get, Tom, the more confident you get in the car.
Well, that's what you need at this early stage in the season, and you can even use this round as you drop score later on. So at least Graham Matthews can use this as valuable experience in terms of how he goes around this circuit in that machine, and then he'll hope for better luck in Road America next time out.
Yeah, see how we get on there as well. Road America is going to be a very interesting circuit compared to this one. It's a lot more wider, a lot longer. Pit stops will be even more. Maxwell's had to come in. Maxwell's come in. He's under fueled. Oh, Luke. Silly boy. Silly boy. 10-second pit stop for the first one. He underfueled the car. He didn't have enough there, Luke Maxwell. He's now gone down into 5th place. Is he going to lose to Ewan Bramer? 6th place is Luke Maxwell. And he underfueled the car. We said he had a 4-second pit stop last time out. 4 seconds faster, than James Barry. And that is why he had that 4-second pit stop faster. He didn't have enough fuel to get to the end of the race. He is the only man on the racetrack that's had to take 2 pit stops for Luke Maxwell. But that now has left the John McHutchison, James Barry finale.
Well, we could be in for a thrilling last couple of laps, because these two will be going after it, Hammer and Tong. And you've hit the nail on the head there, James, about Luke Maxwell. It's no wonder he had that pit stop that was 4 seconds faster than James Berry. He clearly underfueled. So that's just cost him the race win.
Yeah, absolutely. And he only had to sit there for a few more seconds. No, Luke, says Paula May, YouTube chat there. And unfortunately, it is done and dusted. There's going to be one more. 2 minutes remaining here. 2 minutes from Barney. And these guys have only got one more lap. But Hutchison's got this one and one more to get James Barry. Otherwise, it's going to be Barry taking the win in race number 2. But John McHutchison there tucked in right behind him for one more lap.
Well, Hodgson can now just go absolutely 2 for 0. I just hope both of these have not underfueled either. I don't think they have done. But either way, they're going to go ding-dong here as they head towards Knickerbrook for the penultimate time in this race. And Hodgson decided not to go for it yet. James Berry just about sees him there. And yeah, this is going to go right all the way to the checker flag, that's for certain. And Jamie Bird will be thinking, if these two come together, that could be a victory going his way.
Absolutely. Jamie Bird in 3rd place there. Don't say anything, Paul, because every time we brought up a driver, oh, John McHutchison's doing well, nearly loses it. Oh, Luke Maxwell's driving amazing. He ends up in the pit lane for running out of fuel. So don't say anything about Jamie Bird, Paul LeMay. All of these commentators' curses, they're all on you, sunshine. Over the final lap we go. And now it's James Barry and John McHutchison. Got to blame somebody, Tom. Got to blame someone.
Well, we'll leave that for when you go off air. But these two are absolutely going to sit. James Barry got a poor exit coming out of Cascades, and McHutchison may decide to go for it at Island Bend, but just tucks back in again. Will he go for it into Shell Oil's corner? James Barry just about holds his line there and protects his position.
Yeah, it's going to be now. This is where it's going to be. Don't blame me, says Paul LeMay. Well, I am blaming you, son. You type the messages. There's proof here on the broadcast. Over Hilltop we go. James Barry, John McHutchison for the final time. McHutchison's going to look up the inside. No, he's going to wait until the final corner. He's going to try and get him in lodge. He's tucked in right behind him. Barry's under all sorts of pressure. Through the Advan, round the water tower. Now the right-hander at Druids we go. Final lap, final run. Here we go. John McHutchison, I don't think he got a great exit coming out of there. Into the final corner we go. Barry's positioned his car in the middle. He's going to jeopardise his exit over the bump. McHutchison, oh, it's going to be James Barry. Barry's going to come over the line. He's going to take the victory in race number 2. And James Barry does win race number 2 there. And Jamie Bird's going to come home in 3rd place. So great job from Jamie Bird. And comes home in 3rd. Oh, just a name on my sheet of paper. Go on, Jamie. Give it some, son. As he comes over the line. Gonzaga comes over in 4th. Bramer 5th. Maxwell. But, well, he got the fastest lap. So he's grabbed at least 2 bonus points there for Luke Maxwell. Probably kicking himself about the pit stop cycles, though, Tom.
Yeah, well, at least we know that he's got more pace in him than what the results show, but he just needs to remember for future reference to fuel the correct amount into the car.
Yes.
But it is a long season and a lot of twists and turns along the way. But well done to James Barry on taking a brilliant victory, and well deserved, it has to be said.
Absolutely. Fully agree with you on that one. Great job from all the guys there. And well done as we wait for Carl Jacqueline to come over the line. And yeah, we should be up and running and ready to go. Checking on something here, but make sure I've got something out before they try and come in. Yeah. Done and dusted. And we will bring you up the final results very, very shortly and see how they get on. Good racing tonight. Commentator was okay. Oh! Get out, Paul LeMay. You know what I mean? I'm blaming you. If anybody come in for the commentator's curse, it's Paul LeMay's fault here as well. Right, in the feature results, James Barry is your winner with John McCutcheon in 2nd, Jamie Bird in 3rd, Ewan Bramer in George Gonzaga in 4th, sorry, Ewan Bramer 5th, Luke Maxwell 6th, Eric Harmon in 7th, then Menno de Graaf in 8th, Mike Bisson 9th, Carl Jacqueline in 10th, Rob Williams down in 11th, David Rolliston, Paolo Tempera, Stefan Melis and Graham Matthews there as well with Julian Rees. Michael, thank you, welcome in there, sir, as well. Looking forward to more great racing. And Jamie Bird James. Bill there as well. Let's see if we can get a couple of guys in for a chat here. And see if they want to come in to the booth. There's James Barry. He's already willing and waiting. So we can have a chat with Mr. James Barry here, the winner of race number 2. James, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, good. That was really fun. So very happy.
Yeah, good race number 2. Before we go into it, though, how do we see race number 1? What do we reckon the situation was with the contact on Druids?
Well, I think it was a bit of poetic justice that I got the win in the second race because I felt like John really closed the door so tight. I think I had every right to be where I was, and we made contact. I think I stayed as tight as I could have done. And yeah, he managed to get away with it, and then they all concertinaed up behind, so it was just unfortunate for us behind. But yeah, I think, if I had to put the blame on someone, it wouldn't be me.
Oh, no, James. Start your controversies already.
What do you think? What do you think?
The problem is he was trying to make sure he had part of the race circuit. You were on the inside. You had to hit the brake in the middle. There was definitely a brake from you in the middle of that corner. And then Harmon just had nowhere to go. Once you did that, he was just, unfortunately, hit you up the bottom. And you went round there, and Luke managed to avoid you. So, I don't know. I would say a racing incident, but but you know me, if it is blatantly obvious, I will call it out. I reckon that was somewhat of a racing incident. It was a great little battle, but yeah, apart from obviously, that. But listen, you went out and made up for it in race number 2. So, all in all, not a bad recovery.
Yeah, no, I've got to shout out Luke for that race too, because his pace was really, really good. I couldn't keep him. Well, I made a little mistake at one point and he went through, and then he got the fueling wrong because we don't have auto fuel in iRacing on this car. So I was doing my fuel calculations myself before the race. And yeah, just unfortunate for him. So it was a really good, 3-way battle. It was really fun.
It was, yeah, and Luke unfortunately underfueled and had to go back into the pits there as well. Listen, the championship itself is going to be very, very spicy, right? We've got some great tracks as well. Favourite track of the season? What do you reckon?
Probably this one. I don't remember the schedule that much. I don't know if we're doing like Suzuka or something like that.
No, you're not. You're doing Road Atlanta, Road America, Monza, Spa, Bathurst, Brands Hatch GP, Imola, Knockhill, and obviously you got the 60 minutes at Nords.
I'll say Brands Hatch then. Brands Hatch and Norton.
I agree. Well, James, thank you so much for joining us there, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, I'll shout John out as well because, either way we had a lot of fun racing. It was just really intense racing. It was a pleasure to race with these guys. So yeah, thanks to him and thanks to you guys. Thanks to you as well for putting this league on. It's going to be good fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. So James, take care, buddy. And we'll see you I'll see you Thursday, will I?
Yeah, of course.
See you then. Take care, mate.
See you. Bye-bye.
And right, next up on the list is Mr. John McHutchinson. And John, welcome in, bud. How are you?
I'm good, James. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. Winner of race number 1, second of race number 2. Let's go back a little bit first. We'll take the little DeLorean back in time. Give me a little insight into the incident outside of Druids with James Barry.
What incident? I didn't notice anything. I haven't seen anything.
Oh.
No, I thought he just lost it. Did he not?
Well,
I did.
No, well, there was a little bit of information about whether or not, you give him a little bit of a squeeze. And then, unfortunately, Barry hit the brake mid-corner and then Rick Arman went up the back end. So, yeah, it was a little bit.
No, I had no idea, James. I never get any contact or anything, so no.
Oh, see, I said it was a racing incident, if anything there, John. Anyway, but listen, mate, it went on and made up for it in race number 2. Great job. Finishing second place. Went a couple of laps longer than the other guys in front of you, though.
Yeah, well, 1.5 laps longer. The last lap I chugged around the corners, the last 2 corners. Ran out of fuel. I forgot that this thing starts to start with about half a litre left in it, so I misjudged it a little.
And that would be where the time loss came to the others then.
Yep. If I'd put it 1 lap earlier, I would have been in the fight again.
Okay, because you were a long way back there as well on that one. John, we've obviously got to give you a big thanks as well. Been instrumental in putting this series together and the schedule and stuff like that as well. Any particular tracks you're looking forward to?
Knockhill, of course. My local track. Just up the road, so looking forward to that in 3 weeks' time.
No,
sorry.
No, it got changed, didn't it, John?
Yes, it got changed, but I don't know if it changed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I saw a little bit of a DM that was, we did a little bit of a shuffle, so on that one. No, that's in November, John.
Yeah, I forgot I was going to Krakow that weekend.
Oh, yeah. All right, mate. Listen, the instrumental in the calendar changes it because he's away on holiday. I don't know.
Anyway, I hope the racing was good and close tonight.
Mate, it was great fun. Race 1, there was literally, I think it was about 15 seconds apart at the moment across the whole grid. And all the gaps were really, really great and really, really close together. So, yeah, the racing was good. The pit stops did a massive gap spread on race number 2. But I think that was just people getting used to it. There was a little bit of carnage at the beginning, which probably didn't help either in race number 2. So, but yeah, all in all, it was great racing, great night. I know some people have got to do a little bit more practice. I know Julian Rees is opening. He admitted he's got to do some practice with larger fuel numbers. So yeah, all in all, John, it was good. Is there anyone you want to shout out before I let you go?
Shout out to yourself again, I suppose. All the great comms that you do in these races. I watch a lot of your comms, so it's always good fun, good entertainment.
Thank you very much, Mr. McHutchinson. I promise you I didn't pay him to say that either. John, have a good one, bud.
Thanks, James.
Take care.
Hey, pal. Bye.
Right, and next up, I get to have... I'll tell you what, this is almost becoming a regular now of talking to this man. He got through the whole of the feature and finished in 3rd place, was there to pick up the pieces when Mr. Maxwell had to go back in the pits due to a pit stop error. But I get to have a chat with him anyway. Mr. Jamie Bird, how are you, sir?
Hello. How you doing, James? All right, yeah, thanks.
Mate, I'm rolling. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good. Yeah, like you said, 2 races, 55 minutes worth of racing, and I didn't crash myself.
I know. I know, and I told Paul LeMay. Paul was in YouTube chat, and he had a bit of a moment here as well. He turned around and went, "Oh, Luke's driving amazingly well," and then poor old Luke ran out of fuel and had to go in the pit lane. Then he turned around and went, "John's doing excellent," and John nearly lost it. And it was only when I noticed you, Jamie, in third, that I turned around and said to Paul, "Don't say anything. Paul, don't say nothing, because we know what can happen with Jamie at certain times of a race here." But it didn't happen. Have we broken the race 2 Jamie Bird voodoo that normally happens?
I wish I could say yes, but I think some of it's down to I'm a bit more comfortable with the SR8. No faster, but I don't throw it off so much.
Listen, dude, you look, at the end of the day, mate, you finished the race and you took a podium. You know, going forward, we've got quite an intense calendar that was put together with the help of Mr. McCutchinson. Any particular favourites, do you think? Or are you going to tell me I can't remember where we're going, James?
Thank you.
That's all right, mate. Anyone you want to shout out there, dude?
Just yourself, man. As always, broadcasting great, whatever your race you cover. Thanks.
Oh, man, well, you take care. Congratulations, Jamie. Long may this continue. Is going forward, and we'll see if it continues on Thursday.
Nice one. Thanks, man. Cheers.
Okay, Bird. Oh, bless. I do love a bit of having a chat with Jamie Bird. He's such a nice fella. He does have a bit of a rough one as past history's turn over in race number 2 there, Tom. Give us your final thoughts there, Bird. How was it for you?
It was brilliant. Great racing. Good numbers out here for the first race. I know we expect to see a few more turn up for Road Atlanta in a week's time. But at least we've got the ball rolling with the Radical SR8. More to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the thing. There's going to be more action here to come. KBSR, Kenny Bourgeois. Great job as usual, JP. Thanks so much for that one, mate. Thanks very much for joining me. It's been a great evening bringing the SR8s back. Join us next week for Road Atlanta. We've got a lot more racing coming up this week as we are back after week 13. We've got LOL microcars coming up a little bit later on. They're on a dirt track. We've got the UK sim races back tomorrow night. BSC back as normal. Round 8 of J2IKS. They're at Coda for the sprint race. Radical Race Series is back as well. Casual Racing League on Saturday, F1 23. OGRL Season 2. Tanzo's new season. IGP's new season. And we've got it all coming back this week as well. So stay tuned. All the videos will go up tomorrow. But it's been great having you all here once more. And as always, guys, you know the rules. Take care. Have a great week. And we never know. We might see you on the track sometime. Good night.